So the meeting is going on YouTube now. You can share something, and then I'll start the YouTube on the other, live on the Facebook on the other one.
Yeah, sure. Ajay Bhaiya, can you project your slides, please? All right, let me. Ajay Bhaiya, are you there? Or should I call you?
Yes, I am there. Just give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
Too
Yeah.
many things. Okay.
Oh,
So
sorry about that. We just project so that.
yeah, I'll do that. My screen share. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Simadi, would you like to share your own screen when you are taking those realization steps, or
What is a
Seemaji?
Yes.
So, would you like you will be sharing, projecting your own slide when you are taking realization those steps, or you can continue with? It's okay for you if Ajay Bhaiya projecting it.
I think let Ajay Bhaiya do it.
Okay.
back in 5 minutes, guys. Sahaja. I'm one of the hosts who will be leading today's meeting. So before we begin, just for our understanding and to serve you in a better way, is there anyone who is for the first time? Raya, are you here for the first time or you have attended meeting previously? If you can unmute yourself and tell, that would be great.
First meeting, and my name is Ananya. By the way,
Sorry, your voice is very low. Let me stop the music.
yes, thank you. This is my first session, and my name is Ananya. I cannot find the place where I can change the name, though.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. Okay, so you are here for the first time. So welcome to our meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, now I can see Ananya. Okay, so what we are going to do, the structure of the meeting would be to give you a brief introduction about what Sahaj Yoga is, how does it work, and then we will go through the self-realization exercise. So if I just simply jump to the second slide. So more or less, that's what we are going to do today. We will start with the introduction. Just it's always good to start with a question, why we need to meditate. So we'll just for a short time, we'll delve into that aspect of our meeting. And then we'll talk about the subtle system and how it helps us to bring ourselves in a balanced, thoughtless state. And then we'll talk about the self-realization process, the process which Shrimataji, who is the founder of this meditation, she developed that technique. And over many years, she had traveled all over the world and gave or tried her best to give people their self-realization. So, and then we'll end the session with a small Q&A and meditation. So that's what going to be today's structure. So before we talk about anything, what I generally request everyone is start with a short session of introspection, and that kinds of give us reference line of how meditation helps to understand different aspect of our being. So what I would request everyone to open your hands and close your eyes. If it's not comfortable for you closing your eyes, then you can leave it open. But let's try to bring our attention inward. And what we are going to do in the beginning is just observe ourselves. I'm not asking you to focus anywhere. I'm not asking you to concentrate anywhere. Just simply bring your attention inward and try to witness our state. Try to observe our inner self. Physically, we might be comfortable. Emotionally, we might be stable. But the third aspect of our being, which is mental aspect, am I mentally silent as well? If you observe any kind of thoughts in your mind, just don't attach to your thoughts. Observe what kind of thoughts you have. Just observe. No need to think or analyze. If it comes, let it come and let it go. Don't attach ourselves to our thoughts. So for 2 minutes, just do this exercise. Now let's open our eyes. I hope everyone was silent. We did not have any thoughts in our mind. But if you did, again, just take a moment and observe yourself. What was I thinking about? Everyone have different experience. Everyone gets different thoughts. Some of us think about how I'm going to manage my weekend, my coming days, my future. Some of us think or introspect about the things which we have done in the past, or during the day, whatever I did, we try to introspect that part. So, what we understand is that by observing our thoughts, that all the time thoughts are either coming from the past or from the future. If we understand that, if we realize that, it helps us to answer the first question, why to meditate? So, what I'm trying to do in the beginning, recognizing that we have developed a state, or you can say a conditioning, where my mind is always active. I am always thinking, even when it's not needed. For 2 minutes, when I want to meditate, my mind is still active, still analyzing, still thinking about the things which are either related to my past or related to my future. So, what meditation does, it helps us to go into that silent state where I can connect with myself and overcome all those thoughts which provokes different emotions, different feelings, sometimes anger. Uh, Sometimes we go and become introvert and start blaming ourselves. So all these transitions, all these uh, changes occur because of our thoughts. So once we recognize that if I can stop these thoughts, what I do is I establish a thoughtless state within myself. And that allows me to connect with my inner self. So I'll just move on to my next slide. This is just a reference from one of the old literature where Buddha was asked, what do you gain when you go into meditative state? So meditation is not an exercise. It's the state which we are trying to establish within ourselves. And what he answered that, at least if I don't look at the gain part, what I definitely lose is all those anxieties, all that depressive thoughts, all that fear or insecurity which I may get because of my thoughts in my mind. So it helps us to overcome all those thoughts which affects our emotional, mental, and physical being. Now, what's the reference in our day-to-day life? So, as you know, because there's so many things around us, there's so much information, there are so many digital things available to us. So our mind is always distracted. Among kids, it's not only kids, even among us adults as well. We become like our mind becomes like a bunny or a rabbit which keeps on jumping, hopping from one thing to another. We have very short span of attention, and all that is because of our active mind. It's a beast which keeps on asking for more and more. And it affects our subtle state, it affects our balance. So by recognizing it and by going into that meditative state, we allow ourselves to overcome all these thoughts and clear the fog which hangs around our mind because of these different thoughts, which are, because I'm always active, I cannot focus on different things. and I cannot look at the bigger picture. My mind is focused to one small problem rather than looking and trying to delve at one problem from the outside. So by going into that meditative state, I find some peace. As I overcome my thoughts, I find joy within myself. It allows me to connect with my inner self and help me to introspect that all these thoughts which I'm getting, they are useless. They are not beneficial for my health, for my mental state, for my spiritual ascent. But apart from these things, what you get a new sense of awareness. What do I mean by that? Is the awareness of your inner state. You know, or you will find out on your palms that a vibrational awareness which will come depending on the state of our subtle system. You may feel either cool, tingling, or hot, and that reflects the state of our subtle system. I'll talk about that more in detail in the following slides, but that's the awareness which gets manifested when we establish a silent state within ourselves. By overcoming or by ignoring our thoughts, we when we establish a peaceful state, we also get a state, a thoughtless state, which reflects our present. So thoughts are always arising either from the past or from the future. But if I am in the present state itself, there are no thoughts. I'm observing, I'm aware of my surrounding, I look at things, I observe things, but I'm not reacting to it. I'm not analyzing it. I'm not doing any kind of mental analysis on those things. I observe it. If there's certain actions which needs to be taken, I take it, but I continue maintaining that thoughtless state within myself. So let's talk about, okay, so before I go to the subtle system, let's talk about little bit about Shri Mataji, who is the founder of this meditation or yoga. Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi started this movement in 1970. She was born on March 21st, 1923. By profession, she studied medicine and psychology, and she was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize for her work, where she traveled all over the globe, all across different countries, irrespective of race, religion, culture, color. What she said that all of us have this knowledge, all of us have this energy within us. All we need is to form a connection with ourselves. And when we go through the self-realization exercise, we are allowing this energy to work on ourselves by just using our own power of desire and action. So just these two key things help us to manifest that state within us and allow us to have that new dimension, new sense of awareness, which allows us to introspect and diagnose ourselves if for any reason our subtle state or subtle system is out of balance. So let's look at the subtle system. Here's the picture of the subtle system. And what it represents 3 channels and 7 centers. So in the physical aspect, you can look at it as a nerve plexus along our spinal cord. And at the base of our spinal cord lies this triangular bone, referred in the medical term, referred as sacrum bone. And within that lies this 3.5 coil energy. In Sanskrit literature, language, it is referred as Kundalini. So many of us are familiar with that name. And what it is, you can say it's a reflection of primordial energy or Param Chaitanya. And it stays dormant. It's there with our birth. It's active. Since we take our birth, it's always there. But it stays dormant And it gets activated only when we show our pure desire within ourselves to know about it, to get that experience. And that's what we do during the self-realization. We try to awaken this energy and raise it along the different centers, enlightening these different qualities within them, and help it to come on top of our head so that we can form our connection with the natural, organic, divine energy which is all around us. We all understand that there's a universal primordial energy which is driving everything. If I can make myself part of that divine energy, that universal energy, it allows me to connect with it, and that the flow of that vibration gives me the awareness of my subtle system. So before we talk about the awareness part, let's look at what are these channels and centers represent. So as I said, the three channels are part of our spinal cord. The left channel, which is shown over here in the blue color, that represents our desires, it represents our emotions, and it represents our past. Similarly, the yellow channel on the right hand side, this reflects all the mental and physical activity which we do for our sustenance. So if you, and this represents our future as well. But the balance of between these two channels is the white channel in the middle, and that represents the present moment itself. That represents the balanced state within ourselves. If, as I said in the beginning, when we introspected and meditated for 2 minutes, and if you had any thoughts, those thoughts are coming because of different stress, because of different environment and variables in our environment, we tend to drift either to the left or to the right. If we get too much into left, we start getting all these thoughts from our past. We become nostalgic, we become emotionally down, we may become depressed, we feel lethargic. And the other extreme is if we are running too much, taking care of everything in our life, thinking too much because of work pressure or because of domestic pressure, uh, that put us more to the right side. And what happens, we start thinking too much about our future, how things will happen, how would we manage, and so on, so forth. If I can take care of my present, my future might be better. Let me put it this way. So what it helps us to stay in the present and allow us to stay in that thoughtless state. So once we overcome these left and right, moving back and forth like a pendulum, it allows us to keep our attention in the center, in the present moment itself. And that's what brings the awareness of our subtle system. So now, what are these nerve plexus or these chakras or these flowers which are represented on the white channel? So these are, as I said, in the medical terminology, you can refer them as nerve plexus. And in the physical aspect, you know for sure that these nerve plexus are nothing but the junction points where thousands or hundreds of nerves from different organs coming and connecting over there. So in its gross sense, what it does, it provides the needed nourishment to all these organs for our sustenance. Whatever we are doing throughout the day, all these organs are always active and they need nourishment to stay healthy and work for our sustenance. So all that nourishment actually comes from these junction points or the nerve plexus. So that's the physical part of our being. Now, these nerve plexus also have different qualities which are reflective in our day-to-day behavior. It's a part and parcel of our personalities. And many of these are, some of these qualities are reflected here, but it does not, because we cannot put everything here. So these qualities become, when we are balanced, it starts reflecting more pronounced way in our behavior. Let's take a simple example. So on the sixth center, one of the main quality of this center is forgiveness. Now, we all know that we need to be forgiving. We need to be like a kid who, if they get angry on something, after a while they forget it, they forgive it, and they move on. But many of us do hold on to things. Unfortunately, we cannot forget things easily, and we find it hard to forgive people easily. So if we can overcome that ego, which holds us from uh, overcoming all these problems, or which does not allow us to forgive others, if we can overcome, it becomes life simpler for us. It becomes, because the person with whom you may had bad discussion or tough time at work, that person has gone. But because of that incident, I cannot spoil my evening, I cannot spoil my family time with my husband, wife, kids. It just, these things, thoughts keep on coming, and that's take away our precious moment with our family on that particular moment. So if I can forgive and if I can forget that moment, that makes life easier. So what it, so in overall, in nutshell, what it does, it allows us to become more balanced in our personality. It allows us to become more benevolent in our behavior. So these are some of the qualities. As first center, which is Muladhara, referred as in Sanskrit, it has innocence, it gives us wisdom, it gives us sense of direction. Second center gives us creativity. Third center gives us peace. Fourth center has love and compassion, joy. Fifth center is part of our speech. It's allow us to communicate with others effectively. Sixth center, as I said, forgiveness. And the seventh center, which is on top of our head, is the integration of all these qualities. And when we are in that thoughtless state, we allow all this energy to rise along this central channel, enlightening all these qualities within us, enlightening these centers, and allow us to become part and parcel of the universal energy. Now, you will say, okay, that gives me peace and that gives me joy, that helped me to go into thoughtless state. Is there any gross benefit which I get? Yes. The other thing which you get as a byproduct of it is the awareness of your subtle system on your hands. So as you can see, each finger or every part of our palm is represented with different color. And these colors are mapped to these different chakras which are there on our subtle system. So once we go into that thoughtless state, on our hands, again, please remember, this is a byproduct. That's not my objective. My objective is to maintain a thoughtless state. When I do that, I get the awareness of my subtle system on my hands. And for any reason, again, we live in dynamic environment, we work, we take care of our family, we do our chores. So because of all that running, moving, thinking, and stressful environment, some of the chakras do get affected. But when you introspect and when you connect with yourself, it allows you to diagnose yourself if any of these centers are out of balance. And you can figure out yourself in the form of, if any centers are out of balance, you will feel heat or tingling. And that helps us to understand if, okay, something is wrong with me, then I need to take care of it. So you don't need to rely on third person to tell you what's wrong with me. You do not need to let whatever problem you may have become so severe that you need to go to doctor and consult them. It just on the preliminary stage itself, this energy will tell you if anything, if any of these centers are out of balance, and allows us to help and correct these centers by meditating on it and by working on it. So I'll leave on that note. We can go into the self-realization exercise. Unless you have any question, we can move on to the next part, which is self-realization exercise. But only thing before I hand over to Seema ji, only thing I would request all of us who are attending this for the first time is that please do it with open mind and open heart. Open heart so that you show your pure desire and you allow this Kundalini energy to rise from its dormant state and giving you that awareness of your vibrations and your subtle system. Second thing, which is open mind, is I don't want you to take it on a blind faith. I want you to experiment with yourself, understand it, and see, analyze yourself and see how it truly works, how that awareness of vibrations and subtle system on our palms, how beautiful it is. So I want you to explore on your own adventure or on your own journey by keeping your mind open. So with that, I'll just stop it over here and I'll hand it over to Seemaji. But if you have anyone has any question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question before we go into the self-realization exercise.
Thank you, Bhaiya. So I will walk you through the steps for self-realization. But like since we have talked so much, we should sit down comfortably, relax. On the screen, we are showing the pictures which basically describe the steps of self-realization. In the process of self-realization, basically we are trying to awaken the Kundalini energy. So before in the slides, Bhaiya showed 3 energy channels and 3.5 coil of Kundalini energy in this triangular bone. If you can, I am pointing it out. So in this triangular bone area, this is 3.5 coil Kundalini energy. We also address it as, sometimes we say it Kundalini energy or we call it mother energy, because this is your own individual mother which knows everything about you. However, to keep the things short, in this process of self-realization, we are trying to awaken this Kundalini energy or our mother energy. So this process of self-realization, basically we take certain affirmations by putting our right hand on certain parts of our body. Our only requirement is that we should take these affirmations with full heart, not because I am asking you to repeat and take the affirmation. Awakening the Kundalini energy always is your own pure desire to achieve this realization. So our affirmations are like very basic, like I forgive everyone, I'm a pure spirit. Like these are very basic affirmations. The only requirement is that we need to take it from our full depth of our heart, not mechanically. So with that thing in mind, we will go back to the steps of self-realization to explain the position of hands. So our first, we'll put both of our hands on our lap with palm open. In our first step, we'll put our right hand on our heart. Second step, we will move our hand down to upper abdomen. We also call it the rib cage area. So upper abdomen, after that we move our hand to the lower abdomen, back to upper abdomen, back to the heart. Then we put our right hand to the back of our neck and tilt our head to our right shoulder. So all this time our right hand is moving and left hand is always open in the palm. So we will tilt our neck to our right shoulder. And each step is having certain affirmations that we will tell you at the time when we are really playing those affirmations. This is just the positioning of hand that I'm describing. So after this, the next step is keeping the palm of our hand to our forehead and bend our head a little. Then the next step is to put this hand behind our head and look a little bit up. And then the last step is to put the palm of our hand at the fontanelle bone area, which is a soft area. In our language we call it sometimes talu, but it's a very soft area. When a baby is born, we can feel this is the soft area at the top of his head. So we have to keep our palm on that area and rotate our hand in clockwise direction 7 times. This will be our final step. So once again, I will summarize these steps. To begin with our heart, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, back to upper abdomen, back to heart, then at the back of our neck, putting the palm on the forehead, at the back of our head, and then on the fontanelle bone area. So these are our steps of realization. So before we play the video for this, the self-realization, let's first settle down. We will keep both of our hands on Mother Earth. Close our eyes and take 3 deep breaths. We will bring our hands back in our lap. Just try to relax and try to be thoughtless, little bit thoughtless if you can. Just we are trying to relax. So now we are playing the video.
Keep your eyes closed. First of all, please keep your eyes closed. First of all, please put your right hand on your heart. All the time the left hand is towards me. Now, here you have to say, in your heart, with all sincerity, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question 3 times in your heart. This is a very fundamental question. Now bring the right hand on to the left hand side of your stomach, in the upper part. Here press it. Now this is the center of your mastery, your guidance, your Guru Tattva as they say. So ask a question, Mother, am I my own master? This is a question to be asked 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Now, bring your right hand down below, in the lower part of the abdomen. Now, this is the center from which All the divine work is done. All the pure work is done. So to ask 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 6 times you just ask. As a result of this asking, the Kundalini starts getting awakened. Now to help the Kundalini to rise, you have to cooperate with her. So please put your right hand on the left hand side in the upper part of your abdomen and press it on the stomach. Now here you have to say with full confidence to help the Kundalini to rise, Mother, I am my own master. This you have to say 10 times. These are the 10 commandments which you have to say. That, Mother, I am my own master. Now, 10 times with full confidence. Now, please raise your right hand to your heart. Now, here you have to say, again with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This is the truth. You are the Spirit. But you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This you have to say 12 times. Now one has to know that God Almighty is the ocean of love. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So He forgives. Whatever wrong you do, He forgives. So don't feel guilty and put your right hand across on the left hand side in the corner which is made by your neck and your shoulder. Now here you have to say again with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say it. Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. I am not guilty at all. Please say it. Please say it. Very hot. Now raise your hand across on your forehead. And it's a very important center. Here you have to say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it from your heart. How many times is not the point. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now, some would say that it's very difficult to forgive, but it's a myth that we do not forgive or we forgive. We do not do anything in both the cases. But if we don't forgive, then we play into wrong hands. So please say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now please take your hand on the back agya, the same center, on the back side of your head, and allow your head to rest on it and push it back a little bit. Now here, you have to say, for your satisfaction, because you always feel guilty, that, O Divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive me. Please forgive me. From your heart. Stretch your hand fully and put your center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a very soft bone in your childhood. Press it hard. Press hard your scalp. Now you have to move it 7 times, saying one thing, which you have to ask for. Mother, please give us my self-realization, because I cannot force on you. So you have to ask for it. 7 times, press it hard and move it 7 times, very hard. Slowly, saying that.
We will keep our both the hands in our lap and meditate silently for few minutes. We will take our right hand and raise it all the way up our head. Move it little bit up and down. And try to experience if we feel anything. The palm of our head should be above the soft area where we massage our head in the self-realization process. Now we will put our hand back, and now we will repeat the same process with our left hand. Take it, the palm of our hand above our head, little bit above our soft palm area. And just observe what we are feeling. We'll bring our hand down in our lap. We'll try to observe our fingers, especially the fingertips of both the hands. Try to feel the palm of our hands. And try to observe if you are feeling some heat or coolness or some tingling sensations. Now we can open our eyes and share our experience. Ananya? you can unmute yourself and you can let us know, you can share with us how was this experience of self-realization.
It was very nice, thank you. And all through the process, I did feel a lot of sensation, tingling, or some kind of, feeling on my palms and fingertips, actually, the whole finger. I probably don't know what to feel when I took my hand above my head. I'm not sure I felt anything there, but other than that, my hands felt really good. Actually, not just the fingertips and the hands and palms, but also sometimes like some sensation on my feet as well. This was very good.
Oh, great, great.
Thank
So
you.
let me explain this a little bit. Like, as you said, you felt some tingling sensation. So during this process of self-realization, we were trying to awaken our Kundalini energy. And what happens when this energy is awakened? It tries to make its way through the central path, the white channel that you are seeing in this diagram, the central channel. So it's trying to make its way through the central channel, and to it, the final thing is that it has to come up. The lotus above your head that you are seeing, that's where this channel ends. So that's the way path that it is trying to rise through. And when there are some obstacles, this energy automatically tries to clear those obstacles. These obstacles can be any negativity or anything that our body has. So actually, on all of our chakras, it depends on their state. Like if we have any problems or any sort of negativities, then this energy try to cleanse that, and that's when you feel this tingling sensation and all. Heat is also the part of it. If we feel heat anywhere, that's again, it's a good thing in a way, that because this your chakra is getting cleared, your energy center is being cleansed by this energy. And if we feel cool, that means that energy center is in a very good condition, and the cool is the final aim. So what we have done today, that uh, we have awakened this energy, this kundalini energy inside you. So try to think as like today we have planted a seed. Now in order to nurture this, we have to put water, right? We have to water the plant so that the plant can grow. So this watering process is the meditation. So awakening the kundalini energy is basically planting a seed. Now we have to grow the plant by meditating regularly. So it's important to meditate at least 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and in the evening time at your convenience. There is like no conditioning that you have to meditate at this certain time. Whenever like you can feel relaxed, whenever you are less worried about the things, where you are in a good mental state, you can meditate. And for this, like, I will hand it over to Ajay Bhaiya to tell you more about our sessions.
So thank you, Seema. So yes, it's like as Seema ji mentioned, it's a living process. So we have to try and experiment and meditate every day in order to maintain that balanced state. When we go out and running around and taking care of our daily chores, we are affecting our subtle system. So it's important for us to meditate. There are two ways. But is recommended that we do it in the morning and evening. Morning, because you are fresh at that time, you have less thoughts, less thing bothering, so getting into that meditative state becomes easier. And similarly, if we can meditate before going to bed in the night, then it helps us to get good sound sleep and allows us to feel refreshed when we wake up and more energetic. So that's what recommendation is, but that's not the hard and fast rule. whenever you can find some time, suppose you are not a morning person or you have a lot of things to take care in the morning, then you can do the same thing during your day. Whenever you can find 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your time where you can be with yourself, no other cell phone, no other office business, no other family business. When you are with yourself, just meditate for 10-15 minutes of your time, and um, and try to form that connection. Again, you may not need to go through this self-realization exercise which we did. If you do, if you repeat it at home, it helps, but it's not must. What is needed is just simply with your right hand touch on top of your head the seventh center, so that my attention goes over there, and bring your right hand back and keep your both palms open, and that's it. Just continue keeping your attention on top of your head. If you get any kind of thoughts, just ignore them and continue meditating. In the beginning, it might that thoughtless state might be for few fractions of seconds or seconds, but as we continue practicing it with our daily meditation, it becomes longer and longer, and that we can enjoy that state for a longer period of time. Now, sometime bringing this to our day-to-day routine becomes hectic. So just for everyone's convenience and comfort, we also have these online Zoom session meetings, Sunday to Thursday at 9:15 p.m. in the night. It's around 45-minute session. So it's not only a guided session where you can meditate with a lot of folks of similar interest, but we also share a lot more information about these centers, how it works, what you can do if you feel any of these centers are out of balance. So those information is also provided during the session. So we will encourage you to attend, but it's understandable. Sometimes you may not have time to attend all the session, but what is important and essential here is to keep on trying, keep on practicing at home. Even if you cannot attend these sessions, please continue trying at home and attend whenever you can, but at least continue meditating at home, so that this experience gets manifested more and more. You start going deeper in your meditative state and allow you to connect with your vibrations and get the awareness of your subtle system on your hands. So with that note, I'll just um, there's no, unless you have any question, Ananya or anybody else, we can, if you have 10 minutes, we can meditate. Shania can guide us through, walk us through the guided session of 10 minutes meditation. So thank you all. Ananya, if you have any question, please let us know. Otherwise, I would encourage you to just enjoy another 10 minutes of meditation.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'll be there.
Shania Didi, I'll
Yes.
hand it over to you now.
Yes, thank you, Ajay. Yeah, hi, my name is Shenai. So thank you, Seema and Ajay, for the beautiful explanation. And Ananya, is the first thing is of course, everyone explained, excuse me, is the beautiful thing. I mean, this important thing to connect with our spirit. And if we don't connect with our spirit physically, mentally, and emotionally, whatever we do in our meditation, it will be just exercise, it will be just mental. So what will we do today? Just about 5-10 minutes. Of course, right now 8:30, but with your permission, we will do more meditation and to experience, to connect with our spirit, and without any attachment, without any emotion or thoughts. And that is the real yoga. That is the yoga means union one with our spirit, union with one with the all-pervading divine power who created us. Unless and until if we don't connect with both things, our meditation again will be just very mental. Maybe we will have some peace, but connecting with our spirit, that will be our key, that we can have the absolute joy, absolute satisfaction, And also definitely we will be always thoughtless. And because once our Kundalini, our own energy, Mother Kundalini, which is reflected by all pervading divine power, which is the love, and that once our Kundalini comes into our spirit, in the same time, our mind, our conscious mind, our intellectual mind or attention touches into our spirit. Again, our attention and our conscious mind touches on our spirit. In that moment, we can become detached and we can enjoy. Our wisdom increases because the light of the spirit comes into our brain, into our attention, into our conscious mind. Our mind doesn't anymore dominate us, and we become one actually with our mind, with our body, and we become one with the physically, mentally, and emotionally. Everything comes into balance. So let's try now, wherever you are sitting, Ananya and everyone. So chair or Mother Earth, I'm in the floor. Please sit comfortably. Our both hands open, palms are up on the lap. And please sit straight. Slowly we can close our eyes. Both hands are on the lap, it is open. Let's put our right hand on our heart, where our spirit is located. Attention is on this chakra, on this energy center, in the same time on our spirit. We will say with full faith, without analyzing it, without thinking, Mother Kundalini, I am the pure spirit. I am pure spirit. Our own energy is primordial mother. She knows each thing within us as a real mother. That's why we call it mother. Let's say one more time with our attention. Mother Kundalini, I am the pure spirit. I'm not this body, not these thoughts, not this emotion, not this expectation, not these conditionings, and not this ego. I am just a pure spirit. Mother Kundalini, please establish the joy of spirit in me. Please remove all the attachments and conditionings which I am not aware of it. O Mother Kundalini, please establish the pure love and compassion of divine into my heart with my spirit. O Mother Kundalini, please establish the pure love and compassion into my heart with my spirit. Let's say one more time without thinking, with full faith. Mother Kundalini, I am just a pure spirit. Slowly we can put back our right hand on the lap. We will put our right hand on the forehead, and please bend your head as much as front. Basically, we are covering our forehead with the full hand of right, with our right hand. Attention is on this chakra. If the thoughts are coming, just watch them. No need to think or analyze it. We will see from our heart by putting our attention on this chakra with full heart, with desire. We will say, Mother Kundalini, I forgive everyone, including myself. Please try to say from the heart. Please remember, whatever it is, it happened. It happened with ignorance. Just forgive from your heart. And it is past. We can't do anything for that. Let's say several times, Mother Kundalini, I forgive everyone, including myself. I forgive. I forgive. Slowly we can move our right hand on the top of the head, which is on the fontanel bone area. We will press with the center of the palm of right hand. Our fingers are straight. Our hand will turn to clockwise. And we are pressing our right hand towards clockwise. Attention is on this chakra. All the qualities of chakras integrates and it becomes one with our spirit and with the all-pervading divine power with this chakra. Let's say with full heart, with the desire, Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. Please try to say with full heart, without doubt, O Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. Please establish the absolute knowledge of divine in me without any doubt. Slowly we can put back our right hand on the lap. Our attention is still on the top of the head. If our attention is always on the top of the head during the meditation, it helps us to reduce all the thoughts from our mind. If the thoughts are coming, we will just watch them. No need to involve. Please try to feel the joy of silence within you. At the same time, to feel, be part and a parcel of the whole that brings us into yoga, to real yoga, that we become one. For a few minutes, we will be in meditative state without any affirmation. Put the music on. Slowly we can open our eyes and we can bring both hands in front of our chest, the center part, and we can bow to our spirit with respect. Okay, thank you so much for joining to everyone. I will give it to Ajay right now.
Thank you everyone for joining tonight. Hope all of us had wonderful experience. Again, Ananya, if you have time, please feel free to join those evening meetings. If you can give me your email ID, then I will be able to forward you some of the material. There's a poll also on your screen. If you can just give your feedback, that's very helpful for us to make it our programs more effective and more helpful to you. So please, if you can give that feedback, that would be great. And we'll see you all next week then. Thank you, everyone.
I have put my email in the chat box.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll use that one and send you the information.
Thank
If
you.
you can fill this feedback also, that would be great, Ananya. Sorry, I'm asking you too many things, but
No, I'm not able to scroll down on the form. That's the only problem.
Modiji is there? No.
Are you on a phone or a laptop?
I'm on a Mac laptop.
Yeah, if it's too difficult, like it's fine. But yeah. I think
Interesting. I can do that. I'm able to scroll. I'm also on Mac, but
Yeah, and even the tab key isn't working. So yeah, sorry.
no
Maybe
problem.
you can send me the link in the email and I can do.
Ananya, try one thing. Hit escape and then try see if you can move. Hit escape. Sorry, not F3. Do F3 one time.
It's gone actually because I did escape first.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We'll figure out something. Okay. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Good night.